Hey YouTube, this is Jeremiah from New Life Counselling. Hope you're doing well wherever you're at today. What we're talking about today is how to have a friend. Hey, before we continue on, make sure please to click like and subscribe. Now, one layer out. That would be the fourth category. We're getting broader here. These are just the people, I see them at work, but I don't even know them. I might even go, oh, what's that person's name again? Could even be your next door neighbor. You know, like I say, hey, how you doing? Yeah, good. Hey, nice lawn. But do I really know them? All right. But maybe in a serious emergency, I could reach out. But chances are, if I can't reach them, I can't be like, oh, some friend they are. Well, no, because they're in the fourth category. That's not fair. I don't know them. They don't know me. See, this is where people get confused and messed up in relationships, because I might think I know them. I'm giving into this relationship. Look at all I'm doing, and we do so much together. But if they don't reciprocate that back, that can create a very unhealthy, imbalanced relationship. Some might even call it a codependent, needy-based relationship. And when that happens, that's where that person might think, oh, they're like totally in the first or second ring of my circle of safety. But in fact, they might be in the third, fourth, fifth, nowhere zone within that circle of safety. And the other person's going, oh yeah, I know Jeremiah. Nice guy. Are you friends with him? Not really. I mean, I know him. I mean, he does stuff, but that's it. See, that's an interesting thing. That's a different concept I won't get into, but it's called a differential of power. All right. And if we don't recognize that, we can actually get in very harmfully emotional relationship situations that actually make and get us hurt in the end. All right. It makes us not feel safe. All right. What's this outer zone? What's this final zone? Well, this is actually a very important zone. All right. Just as important as the center, this outer zone is also very important. It's what brings and holds the thing together. And what that is what I call community supports. See, community supports are important because they help. But the problem is some people, all they have is community supports and no one in any of these other layers. So I've had people that I've known where they're like, oh yeah, I got all this help. I'm all good. I'm safe. Yeah, but it's all external. And once the contract ends or once the support ends, what do you do now? You're left with nothing. And so we got to be very careful of that, not to assume or rely too much on these external supports. All right. So who is in these external supports? Well, I mean, it could be your banker. It could be your investor. It could be a lawyer. It could be your dentist. It could be a doctor. And guess what else? That also is where I lie within the realm. All right. Even within the YouTube realm. You might be watching this video and have never met or seen me. Now you might get a sense of who I am, but we're still out here in the community area. Okay. Of just passing by. However, there's two individuals I always like to pick on that actually go from the outer ring to the inner ring, right to the very center. And that is going to be your doctor, all right, from a physical, sometimes emotional, mental manner. And it's going to be about 5-10 minutes, give or take. And they go right to the center, what's happening, check things out, and then they go right back out. The other person that does that is your therapist. That would be someone like myself. It's where I am on the external community support ring. And then I, for an hour, go right into the center, if the other person will allow me to, and go right into that core. And then after about an hour, I then go back out again. All right. And that's another good example of recognizing, oh, is this my friend or not? Just because they're in the center doesn't mean that they are your friend. because that's part of the reciprocal. I mean, from a realistic perspective, your doctor goes in, but that's a professional duty that they're doing. The therapist goes in, that is their responsibility that they're going in to support your mind, will, and emotions. Your doctor's helping with some of that and your physical side as well. But then they go out. See, that is almost a contractual relationship, which does not make it a friendship. Whole bunch of different areas we could go in about that as well. Again, that power differential, okay, or balance of power, okay, therapeutic difference, all these different terminologies, but we're not going to go into that right now. I hope this supports you if you're an individual who has tons of friends but are realizing they're all out here, they're not in here. I gotta maybe pick one or two and work towards building that. Or maybe you've got nobody, but I'm an introvert. What do? I'm shy. I get nervous around people. Well, is there one or two people that I can work towards going layer by layer by layer? By the ways, this is how we prevent from going from meeting someone in the community, falling in love, and getting married 3 months later and going, oh, I made the worst mistake ever. Yeah, you did, because you went from here and then now you're here. You didn't get a chance to actually see how far it could go and what is the reciprocating demonstrable actions that the other person is giving and taking as you are giving and taking. And that, unfortunately, is one challenge we all deal with sometimes, and that is time. And that's where we can get very impatient with time sometimes. Oh, but I'm 60 and I'm getting older. I don't care. With all due respect. I mean, I do care enough to say. It's actually a line from my book called Safe People versus Unsafe People, that safe people care enough to confront. And I'm just saying, if you haven't already turned this video off with what I just said, all right, that your therapist or your friend in that inner circle should care enough to be able to confront and go, hey, is this person demonstrating a long enough time to be able to demonstrate that safety and that inner ring that you're allowing them into? Okay, I hope so. It's just that in oftentimes second, third marriages, all right, or common law relationships that break up and then enter into another relationship right away. That can happen. And next thing you know, you're in the world of what I call mistake, and I don't want that to happen to anybody. Anyways, I could go on and on, but I'm not. So without further ado, wherever you are at, I hope the best of wherever you're at today, and have a great rest of your time. All right, building one or two more deeper, intimate relationships that hit that center. All right, you two, we'll catch you later.